And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foss and I'm touching base with you as I always do every day. And I am in a diner. I am in the diner because the house is on display. And so, what's going on, folks? How are you all doing? I see the first person in the building is good morning to Hannah says good morning. Let me kick that on the board there. She says good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. How are you all doing? And I see Miss G.R. Houston Jack is in the building. Good morning. It's so good to see everybody. And my mic on? I think it is. Yes, it is. It is. It is on. So I am at the cafe, and hopefully I won't be here. I mean, obviously I'll be here for the full show. But hey, Rashawn is in the building. Good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily Family, says Rashawn. So good to see you in the building. So good to see you. So today, you know what? I'm going to also send an invitation out to some folks and see if they want to come on. And because today is one of those, it's going to be an interesting day because we're going to be talking about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We're definitely going to be talking about photography, urban exploration, photography tips. That's what we'll be sharing today. So hold on to your seats for that. And we'll be talking about the passing away of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. So, yeah, that's what we have. That is what's going on in the news today. Mr. DS is in the building. How you doing, DS? He says, hello, Ron. DS is here. DS is here. And I see all the love going on. Make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. That's where YouTube knows that you are in the building and that you are part of the conversation. So make sure you hit the likes. The likes. Okay, I see also in here. Good morning again. I see that. I see all the exchanges of love. Okay, so it is beautiful in New York today. It is absolutely beautiful in New York City. The weather is perfect. They say the temperatures are going no higher than 70 degrees. No higher than 70 degrees. And so that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Can you guys hear me? I hope you guys can hear me clearly. It looks like you can. I see the mic is moving. So that means you are hearing me. That's excellent. And so here we are. Here we are. Ah, I have to tell you, I have to tell you that the Malcolm Jamal um, passing away blew my mind yesterday. First, I thought it was a hoax. I said, why would someone do this with Malcolm Jamal? Right? Like, why would they be joking about this? And it turned out it wasn't a joke. It was real reality. My cousin said it to me early before it hit the news, and I was like, it was in our family chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this for real? And then um, I went to Wikipedia first, and then they had already put it in Wikipedia. It was like so fast. So Wikipedia is on top of stuff, when it comes to the news. So yeah, that's it. So how are you all doing? What's in your world? What's going on in your world today? How are you feeling? You know, I was saying also that Michael Jamal Warner was such a part of all of us growing up. And for me, it was, I think Bill Cosby started, the Bill Cosby show started when I was in college. And so that's when I got, so it was like the kids of the Bill Cosby show were like, they were um, like little brothers and sisters, right? Because you saw them every day of your life. I mean, every Thursday. So that was intense. So I hope you guys can hear me well. I know it's a lot of noise today, but it is what it is. I am in the coffee shop, so let me see what you guys are saying. And I just saw some notification. Yes, I see here. Mm, yeah, this is the food parent says he was a stand human being. He was a great actor. He was an actor, musician, poet, director. I mean, what a legacy at 54. Legacy, a legacy. Rashawn said the same thing. She said, I was so devastated about his death. It hit me hard. I mean, I'm not usually moved. I mean, I should say I'm not moved, but it doesn't really hit me hard when celebrities pass or musicians or something like that. But this was like, oh wow, this is, and you know what it is also. There's so many, I say, young men and women that are passing away in our community, and so that's why it's. I mean, it also had. Yeah, I just remember I was just telling you about the gentleman that was on last Sunday having a birthday party for Wednesday, and he died on Tuesday. But his own, I mean, he didn't even make it to his own birthday party. And I heard that Malcolm-Jamal birthday is today. I think it is. Or was it yesterday? I think so. Let me just double check that. Hold on a second. What was it just recently? Yeah, there we go. I think oh, his birthday's coming up in August. That's what it is. His birthday's coming up. Would have been coming up in August, August 18th. And man, just so hard. I see here that Gia says I meant a stand-up human being. I know, we know what you meant, buddy. Malcolm is a legend. Malcolm is a legend. And also, the Cosby Show is one of my favorite shows till this day. It is my favorite show. It really shaped me, the Cosby Show, even though you can't really find it online any longer because of Bill Cosby's situation. But yeah, um, Kimmy Kim says, hello, Ron, RLP fam. Yeah, we're talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner today. And just kind of like sharing some of the thoughts that you may have had or that, well, I know all the communities are doing something in tribute today. I know that, what's his name? La, 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 la. I know Don Lemon did something yesterday, but they plan to do something today. A couple other people are doing some tributes today, especially among the Black community. G says, this is why I say give folks their flowers today. Absolutely. Give people their flowers today. And Jazzy Jazz was in the building. She says, Jazzy, I got it right this morning. You see that? Jazzy Jazz is in the building. She says, good morning, beautiful. Good morning. And Kimmy Kim says, it was shocking. It was shocking. It was shocking. It blew me away. It blew me away. I was just stuck. I was just like, oh, what is happening? What is happening? Like I said, I didn't believe it at first. DS says, it's not the years in your life, but the life in your years that matters most. Tomorrow, not promised. I like that, DS. DS, you are a philosopher. I'm realizing you have that philosopher's brain. It's not the years in your life, but the life in your years that matter most. That is you. That's a summary. That's a summary right there. Tuscany Blue is in the building. I see she changed her name from TB to Tuscany Blue. Tuscany Blue is in the building. She says, "Good morning. Yes, devastating. It hurts. It hurt. It definitely hurt." Aya is in the building. She said, "Hey, Grand Rising, hi, Robin, and everyone." Jazzy says, "My heart is broken by Malcolm." Yeah. Um, so I just wanted to do a little, I mean, I was born the end of the baby boomers and the beginning of Generation X. And if you are an Xer, Generation X, you are familiar with Malcolm Jamal, Malcolm Jamal, Malcolm Jamal Warner. And let's see here. The rising, I see all the greetings. People are leaving here left and right, says Rashawn. It is. It's like leaving. People are leaving. It's just, but it's amazing that so many people that are in their 50s and 60s over the last 3 years, since COVID, it has been so many young adults, young 50s and 60s. It's kind of just mind-boggling. Timmy says, "But Bill Cosby showed his appreciation for his talent and the man he became." Yeah, it is also said that from Bill Cosby's publicist is that Malcolm was just on the phone with him this weekend, on Saturday. He was just talking to Bill Cosby on Saturday. He had just finished up with a concert, a music concert that he was performing in, I think in Minnesota. So yeah, so they say that it really hit Bill Cosby hard. Hey, good morning. I see Lisa is in the building. Miss Lisa Sealy. Good morning, guys. And so what I want you to do, I know it requires a lot in the comment boxes, but I would like you to put in your comment box one special Malcolm moment, whether it be from his TV show, I think it was Residence. It was also Bill Cosby show. He he did a couple. I mean, when you look at his credits of all the film and things he's been involved in, the list is amazing in Wikipedia. So he has contributed a whole lot in 54 years of his life. He started at 9 years old um, into the acting industry, and also he's a New Jersey City resident. Native, I should say, native. Lisa says, so many different stories. I heard he was taking a morning swim alone in an area that is normally for surfers. I wish that wasn't the case. It is true. So sad. I grew up with him. He was my TV cousin. Yeah, so now everyone's saying, I've heard that expression. He was our TV cousin. Our TV cousin. Make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. Um, G says, technically, there are folks dying every second, but there are times in our life when we're more aware of these life changes. This is true. There is a person dying every second in the world. Every second. Sometimes multiple people every second. Dia says, a few years ago, I purchased the entire Cosby Show on DVD. I still watch at least 2 or 3 times a week. They were a part of my life. Oh wow, you're just like Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn looks at TV shows repetitively over the years, no matter how many times she sees it. Interesting. Very interesting. Kimmy Kim says, I believe I heard on the news they rescued 2 men and one was in critical, and Malcolm had passed. Oh wow! Oh wow! The rip currents are real, y'all. Rip currents are real, and I was talking to one of my buddies yesterday, and he says that is when they go to the beach. Well, yeah, when they go to the beach, he makes sure that everybody has their life jacket on, even though they're just hanging out at the beach. I never thought about that. I never thought about putting on their life jacket. I mean, like this life vest. And what it happens if you happen to be swept away in a rip current, you pull the string and it helps you to not get sunk in or float up. I didn't even know they had such a thing. I know we have them for planes, or so when you're on a plane, you have something similar as a vest, and you pull the cord or you blow into it. But this one's pulled to the cord to protect senior citizens, and mostly seniors and children will wear these vests at beaches now. I did not know that until this incident happened. And so as I was, my friend was sharing something about this, and I was like, really? Really? I did not know. Have you guys heard of this? A vest when you go to the beach or when you're hanging around the pool, like, when you have a family gathering and there's an in-ground pool, and some families will have their kids in the vest or their senior citizens in the vest in case they happen to fall into the pool. They know how to pull the cord and it could save their lives. I never heard of it, and now I know. So now I will buy one. I will buy one for when I am traveling, especially if you're going to be by the ocean. I see it. Jazzy says, I don't think people understand. He was truly like family. Exactly. I mean, I watched this guy grow up. We all did. We all watched him grow up from 9 years old. You know? Well, if you look at all the other stuff that he was in before that. But Bill Cosby, he started at Bill Cosby when he was, how old was he? Was he 9 when that Bill Cosby show? Or was he 10? He was young. He wasn't a teenager yet when he started on the Bill Cosby show. He became America's son. Rashawn said, I heard the same story to me. And shout out to the people of, I think it's NAH is a podcast that that he was doing until his passing. And they have conversations like we have here. They talk about different subjects, different days out of this conversations. How I found out about them is through ABC News. He was on ABC News just the beginning of this year and talking about and some of the projects he was working on. And so you can see that footage on Here and Now on ABC News with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, he was just featured in a couple of places. I see here. Jazzy says, The Cosby Show. Justin. And Lisa says, Kimmy, yes, I heard the other guys was trying to save him. Yes, Jazzy says yes. Kimmy says, oh wow, Lisa, this is so sad. It really is. That's why I said that's why I said, you know what? I know everybody's feeling some kind of way. So this is a good time to just share this, just kind of like be here as a community and support one another. That's what we do. That's what we do as a community. And just also put this in here. If you're over in the Instagram world, join us on YouTube. So let me put that in there so that way you guys can know how to join us. That you get a better experience on YouTube. And here we go. And perfect. There we go. And let me pin that. Okay, good job. So there you have it. Okay, back to what you guys do. Back to your comments. I see Mimi. Hey, Mimi's in the building. What's going on, Mimi? She says, "Good morning, Ron and RP crew." Yes, we're talking about Malcolm-Jamal Warner today, and just sharing our thoughts, our feelings, what's going on, how we're dealing with the loss, and just being a community today, as we always are, but especially today. Jazzy says, "Oh, I got that." Lisa says, "Michelle, Justine was a friend of mine. I pray she met him at the gates. Their love was powerful." Yes, yes. I didn't know that, Lisa. You knew Justine from, his girlfriend in the Cosby Show, and became his wife. His wife, right? Was his wife, right? His first wife. And wasn't she the one that passed away of stomach cancer? I think. Mimi says, my too jazzy, gone too soon. Lisa says, I don't play with ocean. I only swim in a pool. I just go knees in the ocean. I'm the same with Lisa. I only go up to my knees. I'm not going in deep. The ocean is it's too fast. I can't see, especially in New York water. You can't see in the sea. Now, if you're in Barbados, you might go further out because there's a leveling off versus here in the East Coast in New York City, you have what's called a drop off. So you walk out and there's a drop off. Not fun. Not fun. In these northeast beaches. Jazzy says, "Listen, this is why I don't play with the ocean. I usually don't go in above my knees also." So Jazzy is also with us. TB says, Malcolm moments, Monopoly money, Justine, jamming on the one with Stevie Wonder, yes, and Gordon Gartrell. So many Malcolm moments. TV, that's a good list. Monopoly money. Remember Monopoly money? That was so cool. It was because of the Cosby show that I found out that I was dyslexic because of the story they did on. Remember when um, Malcolm's character Theo found out that he had dyslexia, and we didn't know what dyslexia was in our community, at least not my family. And then we realized that that's what I was suffering with. That's what I mean. It was, you know, they say one out of every two people has dyslexia. So, but we learn differently, and a lot of times it's mistaken in schools, especially among Black boys, that they are being difficult, or they are not concentrating, or they are not interested. So when Bill Cosby put that into that show, that episode, it saved my life. Because then I finally understood what was going on with me. And I've been, it helped me, yeah, to this day. So I am thankful to the Bill Cosby show for that. You have to admit, Bill Cosby, I mean, even though he has, everyone has their demons, everyone has their something that they're dealing with and managing. And I would say those shows has so much meaning to us. I mean, it was really, I was already in college, so it was just inspiring me when the characters, when they did the spin off to different worlds. And we were in college the same time. So yeah, a lot of good stuff came out of the Bill Cosby show. Um, Roshan, Rashawn says, I am not going to the ocean, period. You got to go to the ocean. You cannot not go to the ocean. You got to go to the ocean. The ocean is very peaceful. Kimmy says, I heard a few clips of his spoken word yesterday, and he seems so active in bringing awareness to the plight of Black people. You know what? I did have it all set up on my computer at home, but let me see if I can bring it up. I'll bring this up for you guys. And this is a good, I hope they carry the show on. And let's see here. Here we go. And it's called NAH. NAH. Okay. Let me just share that with you guys. Yeah, there we go. So this is, let me get this on the screen for you all in a moment okay, here we go. Oh, here it goes. This is the one from Here and Now. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share this, guys, with you. And this is from Here and Now. It's such a good interview. And check it out. Here we go. Let's check out this interview. And hold on a second. My broker's calling me. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Good. I'm on live. What?
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, call me. I just finished the appointment. Call me later. A little bit of chat.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, that's what happens when you're live, right? Okay, let's see here.
It's not a monolith.
Here we go. So
There's so many levels and
sound going
lanes
for you.
to the Black community, and we wanted to have a space where we could acknowledge, discuss all of those lanes, because they're so varied in terms of our perspectives and our opinions and our ways of life, and we wanted to be able to have a place where we can talk about all of those things, discuss all of those things, and shed light on the not all hood aspects of who we are.
All right. And Candace, look, you do this a lot.
Yeah.
You got a lot to say.
I do.
Oh, she got chill.
But for a podcast, that's a good thing.
Right. For the
Why
time.
did you want to be a part of this?
You know what? When we first started talking, we talked about it, not even with my involvement being on air. Just my involvement in the project was just an interesting part of the whole thing. But then we got in a conversation for about, 60, 90 minutes, all of us. And then we thought, you know what? This is really coming. Well, I guess y'all said that after you got off the phone. And so maybe she should join us. And especially, since I do like to talk about different subjects and have been for so long. And certainly he has too. And so that's really how it came together. And we just talked really about kind of this master narrative that exists out there, that when we tell our stories and share our stories, we can really counter by just really sitting down and talking about our experiences. But there is one area that we chose to focus on, and that was being Black in America. So even if you were Jamaican or Ghanaian, when you come to America and people see you as they see you, there's a thread. And so that was important that we're talking about experiences in America, because abroad, it's totally different. So that's how we really came up with this whole concept of people just being able to share openly and to see where we land, and hope that there's enough discussion and counter discussion to make sure everybody's voices are heard, because there are so many, because we're not all a monolith.
Yeah.
And so that is, it is a very good show. And if you haven't had a chance to check it out. It's really good. It's a really good show. And it's not all hood. So that's why it's called Not All Hood, NAH. So if you go on to YouTube, you'll find it. You'll also find some of it on Instagram. Okay? And hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. What sold for 1.2 million? I don't know what sold for 1.2 million. And what else is in here? Let me see what else you guys are saying. And I see in here, I think Derek is in the building. Mr. DT Tug, Mr. DT Tuggle is in the building. So good to see you. TV says, hey Ron, the first I heard of this dyslexia was the Cosby Show as well. It's true. Most people in the Black community did not know about dyslexia. Just something that no one thought about, or at least to our community. Malcolm, an earring in his ear. When did Malcolm put an earring in his ear? Long time ago. Long time ago, he had an earring in his ear. Lisa says, I remember one time she and I had lunch and we were conversing about those shoe guys that everyone loves, but we were sick of them. TV says, I'm sorry, food. DS says, Dance Mania. Mimi says she likes to walk along the beach. Michelle Thomas, no, they were not married. Ah, okay, thank you. Yes, she and they were not married. No, they were not married. Yes. Okay, yes, she had stomach cancer. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's go on further down to what you guys are sharing. Dr. Tachi's in the building as well. I'm not sure. Dr. Tachi, were you acquainted? If you were acquainted with the Bill Cosby Show, you're more than welcome to pop on because you are our media guru. So I'll send an invitation to you in case you want to pop on. You don't have to, but I will send it out to you. Dr. Tachi is in the building. And that is, if she wants to pop on, she can, because Dr. Tachi always has something to share and always brings some good information. Let me see here. I'll go back. Okay, who else is in here? Elise is in the building. Hello, Elise. Good morning. Again, make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. Make sure you hit the likes. Derek says they did an episode about Theo getting his ear pierced. Yes, they did. Remember that? Back in the day. Yeah, he got an ear piercing a long time. It was interesting. Good stuff. Hey, David Mascaro is in the building. What's up? He says, good morning, all. David Mascaro. Today we're talking about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. That's what we're talking about today. And I see all the greetings. Back and forth. Sean says, Jazzy, I enjoyed his podcast. And Jamie says, I'm sad. Jamie says, I'm sad. I didn't know about his podcast until yesterday. Yeah, I just found out about it in the beginning of the year. Like I said, when he was on Here and Now, that's something we look at here in New York City, is Here and Now. It's ABC News here in New York City metropolitan area. And they talk about subjects there that are related to the Black community here. Here and Now on ABC News, New York City. Oh, yes, I'm hoping for that too. Oh, what, you want me to come on? Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, come on. And here we are. And what else? Any other precious moments you want to share? And then we'll go straight into our lesson. We'll go right into our lesson. Remember, today I'm going to talk about urban exploration photography tips. That's what we're talking about today. And also while I'm doing that, I can do this early. How about that? I can do this earlier. And since everyone's here, and let's go into, if you want to be part of our mailing list, join our email list by going to ronlewisphotos and .com, and you can be part of our mailing list. Also, if you're looking for an event photographer, you can find me or slide into my DMs and connect with me, and we can set you up for event photography, whether it's corporate or commercial or residential. Again, we like to thank our Patreon members for being a support here. Without the Patreon folks, we would not be here. It's the Patreon folks that pay and keep the light bills, keep the lights on here at Touch Base Daily. So if you're not a member, become one. And that way you don't miss out. Okay, let's go back to our show. Okay, I see more comments. Great, I see more comments. I see all this exchange of love, exchange. Lisa says, whatever he did or didn't do, the Cosby Show is a classic. It gave our community the green light to be great. The only other show I can remember seeing well off with Black folks was the Jeffersons. And that is true. It was the first time we saw on television a doctor and a lawyer as husband and wife, raising a family. And for those that don't know, the show takes place in an area that I used to hang out in, which is Brooklyn Heights. So you'll see Brooklyn Heights is where most of these go, where it's supposed to be their house. And if you go down one of the main, it's a little street. You go down that little street. I don't forget the name of the street, but it's not too far from the promenade. And you will see the house that they filmed to represent the Huxtables residents. And so it was great to see for my peers someone that looked like us, and they lived in Brooklyn Heights, because it wasn't a many of us that lived in Brooklyn Heights. So to have the Huxtables living in Brooklyn Heights was like, wow, we can do this too. It gave us lots of inspiration, so much inspiration. Lisa says, can I ask our community to say a prayer for my brother? He has had a setback. He has to get one of his toes amputated today. Diabetes is no joke. Wow. Take a moment to pray for Lisa's brother. Take a moment. And then let the church say amen. Amen. May God be with Lisa's brother. May he be with Lisa's brother today. See the prayers are going up. Thank you. That's what we're here. We're a community. That's what we're here for. Looking out for one another. Derek says, I followed him on IG and would respond to my comments from time to time. He would be in a club quarantine from time to time. Really? Did not know that. Did not know that. And anything else here? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Amen. 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 Make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. Make sure you hit the likes. And if you are over in the Instagram world, come on over to our YouTube channel, Ron Lewis Photos, on YouTube. Check us out. We're one big happy family here. And I see some folks over there in the Instagram world. And so how about this? I guess we'll go straight to the lesson now. And we will go to the lesson. And what's that? Janet Fisher. Janet? Hold on a second. What's going on here? Hold on a second. Janet said, am I okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, and yeah, not sure why she asked that question. Are you okay, Ron? Are you okay? I'm okay, Lee. I am okay, Janet. Maybe you're on the wrong page. Maybe Janet's trying to get here, but she's on the wrong page. She reached out. I had my blood sugar. Oh, here's Derek says I had my blood sugar checked and is normal and screening for diabetes was also normal. Brothers get checked. I need to get mine. Well, I got mine checked, and I need to get mine rechecked. Hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Dr.
Hey, hold on a minute. They've changed things back here.
Yes,
I don't know what the hell.
StreamYard has made some changes.
They have. Yeah, interesting. How are you?
I'm good. Like I said, I was sad yesterday. Obviously, after I got off with you guys, and then I was putting some stuff together, and then next thing you know, my cousin puts in our family chat that Malcolm had passed away. And I was like, I did not see that. I did not see it on the news. I did not hear about it. I'm not sure because he knew some people that knew. I don't know. And then after that, about 15, 30 minutes later, I saw it flash on the news. I was like,
yes. Wow. Yeah, I was at the dentist's office when I was, getting ready to look for something, and I all of a sudden said, oh, and they at the front desk, they said, I know exactly what you're talking about because they had heard about it. And it's like a piece of childhood is gone.
Yes.
A piece of childhood is gone because I mean, as I'm listening to everyone talking about the Cosby Show and what it meant for them, that was really the first time, as has been said, that we saw upwardly mobile Black professionals on screen. And guess what? They're like everyone else. So it's not that we did not have concepts of Black family on television before. There were some concepts of that, but often, but they were always posited in a certain light. So you had Good Times, right? Good Times was a Black family. The good thing is it was a complete Black family, but they lived in poverty. So it was
and
setting
it was
a message.
Always hard knocks. Always hard knocks.
And the moment they were ready to get out, something always happened to sweep them back into the ghetto. They could never get above, except for the last episode. So I'm like, all this time on television, and this is the only time you can manage. Like, remember when Thelma was getting ready to marry the football player?
Yes.
Yeah, they had money until he got hurt and couldn't play. I was like, oh, come on. It's always something.
Was the worst. It was. I mean, it was fun, and we laughed and we enjoyed it. However, it was like every time they get a chance to get out the PJs, they would get tossed backwards every single time.
But if you think about it, it's a metaphor for the African-American experience or the Black experience. The moment you start to get above, there is a way, somebody finds a way to cut you down, whether it's your own doing or someone else's doing. And so this was the first time we had that. And here's the thing. I remember hearing, when I was younger, oh, well, that's not realistic. No, witch, that's not realistic for you. That's how my father was a professor. My mother was a nurse that owned a business. So I was used to seeing that type of thing. Now, that's not everybody's reality, but for a lot of people, That is their reality. And how dare you say this is not how Black people live? Because it is 100% how Black people live. Ask anybody who grew up in Jack and Jill. Ask anybody whose mother was in a sorority and father in a fraternity. Ask anybody
Yes.
who's part of 100 Black men. Ask anybody who had been presented to society as a debutante or in a botillion. These things
Yes.
exist in Black life. And to say it doesn't is you trying to keep Black life in a box.
Mm. Now you bring. I mean, remember when Oprah did a movie on the Black elite of Martha's Vineyard,
Yes.
and it talked about their lives, and you had the Cantilia Ball and all the other stuff that was going on. One of my friends and client, she's no longer with us. She was part of that society.
Oh, wow.
And it was fascinating when I met her for the first time. And I go into her house as her interior designer, and we became best of friends from me being an interior designer. And I went into her house, and I saw all of these photos of her family in these beautiful cars, and all of the mink wraps and all that. So I was like, wait a minute, who are you? I was like, who are you? And she said, oh, this is my family up in Connecticut, and we also have family in Martha's Vineyard. And I was like, are you part of that story from what Oprah put on screen, so that we can know that there are Black people that were sophisticated and living their best lives? But when you think back at it, though, again, it's the brainwashing of America, unfortunately, to not show those images. Because when you think back at Black Wall Street, and there were many Black Wall Streets all over the country, and this is how they lived. They had cars, they had they had the first cars, they had stores, they were trading, they were doing business, they were bankers, they had their banks. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. And I think, there's years ago, I got to interview, before he passed, Lawrence Otis Graham, who was the author of Our Kind of People, which was a profile of the Black elite, which ironically was the basis for the show Our Kind of People with Yaya DaCosta. Remember, it was on like for one season or whatever, but it was really good. So I got to interview that author. And if you ever read the book, and I actually did a talk back on it when I was at Howard years ago. So if you ever read the book, it kind of explains the thinking, the types of organizations that the quote unquote Black elite are in. And here's the thing. Often our own worst enemies are not other people. It's us saying that the crab in the barrel, saying that, oh, well, you don't belong there, or this is not for you, or want that for themselves. All we have to do is look at how sometimes young Black people that are smart, particularly boys, are vilified by their own, because you cannot rise above the group. And you feel guilty sometimes for rising above the group. But the only way we all succeed is if you rise above the group.
Together. Yeah.
And whoever doesn't want to come, hey, you can stay at the base of the mountain as we climb to the top.
As we climb to the top. I love that analogy. You can stay at the base of the mountain as we
stay at base camp. In fact, don't come. I don't want you on this climb because you're just going to hold us down. Stay home.
Elise agrees. She says exactly. We are often our own worst enemies. And I see Lisa says envy and SAG, Martha's Vineyard and Sag Harbor, which people think are rich whites, actually started with well-to-do Blacks. Our stories have been squashed. And that's what I discovered when I was in my first time to Martha's Vineyard. I had read about Martha's Vineyard, obviously, also following the story that Oprah had and her story that she put on screen. But I still didn't really grasp Martha's Vineyard until I arrived in Martha's Vineyard. And you see all the gingerbread cookie houses, and you go to Inkwell, and then you see every morning at the Inkwell, at the beach, hundreds of Black people gathered for worship in the morning. And they go there and they are singing old folk songs, old folk, from the old days. And then they're in a big, giant circle in the ocean. And they're moving back and forth and singing. And it's just, and I photographed it last year, because last year I had a chance to photograph it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it moved me, because I didn't know these people. I didn't know the Black people that were in the ocean, but seeing the togetherness and the unity. But then also, Martha's Vineyard is this very unique place where Black people flock to during the summers. And you see, the Obamas are there. Derek is there from D Nice. He goes up there. There's a lot of people that go up. My neighbors down the block, they go every year. My other neighbor across the street, she goes every year. And so it was so funny when I was on the island. I'm walking around. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? And you're like, all these people,
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I was so far removed from this thing, and I felt I was removed, but I really wasn't, because my neighbors were going, my friends were up there.
6 degrees of separation, right?
6 degrees of separation,
or less.
And but there's, again, like I said, you go to Brooklyn Heights here in New York, here in Brooklyn, and the Bill Cosby show is situated in Brooklyn Heights. And I'm so glad that Bill Cosby picked Brooklyn Heights, because at one time, Brooklyn Heights was looked at the area that it was inaccessible to Black people. I mean, you just saw Cloudy Donuts. They're the first Black business in Brooklyn Heights. All of these years, all of these decades that have passed by, all these, decades, and Cloudy Donuts, our vegan donut place that we love to go. Shout out to the Cloudy Donut folks. They're the first Black-owned business in Brooklyn Heights. And that became after COVID. Recently.
It's 2025 and we're still making firsts.
We're still making firsts. Well, also, speaking of first, and they were sharing about Theo's character. Theo was the first African-American young son in a series.
Yes. That's absolutely true. There were a lot of firsts that were made on that show. Just the show, the concept of the show itself. But yes, you're absolutely correct. He was probably also the first. That was, I can't say for sure, but it feels like that was the first time that dyslexia was talked about in television, and in fact talked about at all. But talked about an African-American character, and then talked about how I remember that all this time, Theo had been doing poorly in school all this time, and the parents put it on the fact that because you're lazy and you don't try. Then it comes out that he has dyslexia, and he says all this time, this has been the problem, and it was never addressed that way in terms of it being problematic before on television. So that was a first as well.
Yeah, it's so, like I mentioned earlier, that's when I realized I was like, oh my God, that's me. Wow. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then recently I just went through my report cards, and all the stuff that my teachers were saying was because of my dyslexia.
See,
But I didn't realize that until I was in college that I had dyslexia.
and see, this is why representation matters, because you were able to
Representation matters.
recognize yourself in a field.
Yes.
Right? Think about the way we're talked about, or that we talk about Black children and the way Black children are socialized. If there is an issue, it is you, because you are lazy, you did not do X, Y, and Z, or whenever it comes to anything, oh whatever, just pray it away, or what we do
Yes.
not take responsibility, or we do not acknowledge that there are conditions outside of ourselves that can cause illness, that can cause discomfort, etc. So for this to be recognized was a big thing.
Mm. Mm. Well, man, Dr. Tachi, you always bring us home. You always come with the energy.
Yes.
What's coming up? Do you have anything coming up soon? Anything? Are you playing online, or any talk shows? Any interviews?
Not anything really that I can think of. I'm winding down off of, we just finished the cohort that I was in, the Pharrell Williams Fundable Founders cohort. We had our final dinner on Friday.
Nice. How was it?
My God. Amazing. So let me give you some perspective of why I feel special. Oh, you know what I could do? I'm gonna do you I know you want to do your lesson, but do you have a minute? Okay, I'm going to do the unboxing of the swag bag live, because I haven't unboxed it yet. Yes.
Oh,
so,
let's do it. Let's do it. Exclusive.
Let's do it. So this program, 700 people applied.
Wow.
300 were chosen.
Wow.
Only 100 of us were invited to the final dinner.
Wow.
So yes, this is how I feel special. And so our final dinner was at a place called Casa Donna in Miami, downtown Miami. There were funders there. There were also the Fundable Founders, the business owners that were in the program, the people that coached us, and we had a panel. And this is the funny thing, I just talked about this individual, but Timbaland came and was on the panel and was talking about, and he just started an AI basically like music label talent agency, and so he's really heavily into AI music. So of course he talked about that. He gave a shout out to D Nice because they were talking about verses, and he said, I saw what D Nice was doing, and I said, how can we be in on that? And that's when him and Swiss Beats actually came up with the idea of verses. They talked about content creation.
Remember that verses?
Yes, exactly. I said, we were like, oh, I forgot all about verses. But the fact is, the people in the room were the people you want to be in the room around. And so there were, I don't win things usually, right? So the fact that I got this,
neither do I.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever, because I never win things. So it doesn't mean I don't try. I just don't win. So when I got this, now that's not true. I've had fellowships and things before. So I've gotten those, but I've never gotten anything like this. And so I was like, oh, there's reasoning for me being here. So hold on. I usually don't like to leave the camera, but hold on. Let me get my bag.
Go ahead, do it. Go do it.
Luckily, it was right here. So I'll show you really. We're doing a live unboxing, ladies and gentlemen, of the swag bag from the Fundable Founders. So I'm going to move this out of the way. So of course, here we go. We've got the bag. It says Black Ambition Pharrell Williams on it.
Now, did you get a chance to meet Pharrell?
No, Pharrell was not there. He was I think he was in Paris.
Okay.
So I would have said something if Pharrell was there. so no, but he sent greetings, obviously, because he was the reason for this. So everything in this bag is by people that have that are Black businesses that have been either through the program in some way, shape, or form. So let's see what we have.
Let's see.
We've got if you all don't know, Pound Cake, this is a Black-owned makeup brand. They gave us the Cake Batter Cream Matte Liquid Lipstick. Okay, You knew I was a Delta because it's red. So we got that, which is pretty cool. And that's a Black-owned brand. Okay, we got, this is a Black-owned brand. This is Cake Mix Haitian Cake from Lakay Cakes. Now, I think they may be, I don't know if they're local. No, yeah, they are local. They are in Lehigh Acres, Florida. So this is a Florida brand, and it is a cake mix Haitian cake. So I think the founder is Haitian. We got 2 bags of that. And for anybody who's interested in any of this stuff, let me know, because I can. We got kinfolk. These are affirmation cards. So affirmations, meditations, and reflections for families and communities. And I haven't opened it, obviously, but they have these different affirmation cards that you can, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, it's still wrapped in the plastic.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes. So I'm going to open. So it's it says this deck of cards checks all those boxes with a variety of 52 affirmations, meditations, and conversation prompts. This is really, it's designed to be used by children and their caregivers, but it's appropriate for families and communities of all types. So kinfolk. There's also a kinfolk magazine. I don't know if they are related. I'm going to find that out. We have a few more things in here. Look at this. All right. Oh, there's something in a black velvet bag, folks.
Oh,
let's see what this is.
It's high end.
Yeah. Yes. Let's listen. Everything is high end to me. I feel like a real influencer now. Like they sent me something. All right. What is this?
It's the same thing when I go to Martha's Vineyard. They give us a swag bag.
Oh,
it has everything in it. And last year I got these eye massagers. Then I had the little speaker. It was really good stuff.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is skincare as well. Tenoli Super Fruit Moisturizer. It says glow rooted in culture, powered by Superfruit. And this is the founder right here. And she was part of Black Ambition, I think. We also have, okay, this is cool, Mocktail Club. So this is a mocktail. It is premium crafted non-alcoholic cocktails, Black owned. So
nice.
This is cool. I obviously haven't tried it. I will try it and let you all know.
You gotta let us know. I'm sure we can find that stuff out in the big world.
Exactly. It's called Mocktail Club. So look for that. And then 2 more things. We've got some soap, which is for sensitive skin, which is Black owned as well. And we've got some, a supercharged skin scent. This is a 2-in-1 perfume oil spray called Mudo. So we got some beauty stuff. We've got some other stuff. This is a nice swag bag.
That's a huge bag. You got a lot of stuff in there.
It's huge. So you saw it here first. I had not unboxed it. So I'm probably going to pack it up and do another video unboxing.
You did a Gwendolyn, because Gwendolyn doesn't do an unboxing.
Yeah, well, it's great content. For those of you that are looking like, I don't know what to do, unbox or review. Those are ways to come up with content if you don't know what to do.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true.
So I wanted to share that with you.
I'm so glad you did. I mean, I always love discovering, or I should say being informed about Black businesses, because we can't support them unless we know about them.
Exactly. And I think the day and age that we're in with this anti-DEI sentiment, which is stupid because people think DEI means Black. It does not. But that's what people have done because it's easier to vilify whatever is Black. So the good thing is it has forced us to say, that's fine. Who can we support?
That's right.
You know, so stuff
and
like
it's forcing us to connect.
Yes,
it's forcing us to go back to where we came from, and that is supporting other Black businesses, supporting other Black ideals and thoughts and philosophy. We are now getting back. We have no choice but to now come together as a community, as
Yes,
diverse as we are as a community, to press forward as a community.
exactly, exactly.
We need each
Cool
other.
beans.
We
We
need.
need each other. We need each other. Cool
Well, Dr.
beans.
Tachi, I'm
Thank
gonna
you
let you
so
go so we can
much.
do our lesson. But this was, you always grace us with your presence.
Well, thank you, and I'm graced to be in your presence. So thank you so
And
much.
what is that thing you do? To do. How you do it?
Oh, I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, and all of this great information. We are exiting stage left. This way is left.
Love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Love
my
you.
dear. Love you
Cheers.
too. Cheers.
Bye.
That was awesome. Okay, let's get ready for our lesson. We're going to do this real quick. And today's topic is urban exploration photography tips. So get your pad, get your paper, get ready. It's all about urban exploration photography tips. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Next, urban exploration taps into the beautiful mix of spontaneity, design, and human emotion that we can excel at. Here's a set of photography tips tailored for our community, especially focused on storytelling and dynamic composition in urban settings. So this is what we're gonna do, y'all. Because most of us live in urban settings. A lot of us do. And this is how you'll take your smartphone out and make great use of it. Again, make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. First thing, number one, start with intentional observation. What makes a great photographer is taking the time to observe. Here we go. Before snapping, take a beat to absorb the rhythm of the street. What's moving? What's pausing? What's interacting? Look for symmetry, repetition, an unexpected juxtaposition that says something about the environment. Look at the architecture, see if it's repeating. Look at the people, see if it's repeating. Look and see if there's a story among that urban setting, whether it be a block, whether it be a business area, whether it be the park, whether it, find your destination and sit and wait, stand and wait, and just observe. You look at some of the great photographers, they just simply wait for the photo to come to them. They go, they set up, they survey the area, they know where the light is, they know how the light is going to come down, they know what the shadows are going to look like, and then they tell their story. Next, seek human stories in everyday moments. Look for the guys on the basketball court. Here in New York City, you'll always see photographers hanging out at the West 4th basketball court because they can grab a story. They can grab a story. So focus on gestures, expressions, and interactions. A vendor's concentration or a passerby's glance can convey volumes. Use environmental framing like window reflections or graffiti walls to deepen the narrative. Next, also think about master light shadows, leveraging harsh midday shadows or golden hour glow to sculpt urban textures. Play with silhouettes under overpasses or sharp lighting contrast in alleyways for moody composition. Do you know yesterday while I was doing my walk, I went out for the walk, and what I ended up doing is I went in Brooklyn Heights. We have a lot of alleyways, so I went and started photographing those alleyways because I'm on a quest to document all my favorite places as I prepare to leave the city and leave the country. So I'm like taking pictures of all my favorite places. But we have great spots in New York City where you can take photos from. Next, 4, work the angles. You know we talk about that all the time in this community. Try high vantage points for architectural rhythms, for low angles, to dramatize scale and lead the eye upward. Also, tilt the frame. Tilt can add urgency and chaos that fits busy city scenes. I was gonna say scenes. So make sure that you do that. And forgive all the news information. If you can hear the background, I'm at a cafe today. I'm at a cafe, so bear with me. Okay, so take pictures from different angles. Go low, go high, shoot from different angles. Number 5, anticipate motion. Refocus on areas of high capacity, of high activity, crosswalks, interrail sections, and wait for dynamic movement. And how do you? I'm in New York City. I'm always looking for skateboarders. I'm always looking for people on a bike. I'm looking for people in the busy square walking. Like I will stand in the middle of the street and wait for the traffic light to change. As the traffic light changes and it goes from red to green and the people start moving across the crosswalk, you can take great photos of people moving. And thanks to Lisa in our community, she showed me how to use burst mode. Use burst mode or pan slightly during the shot to imply speed and energy. The burst mode. I now know how to use my iPhone burst mode. So iPhone has burst mode and also Androids. So put your phone in burst mode when you want to take some great activity, burst of movements, use your burst mode. Okay, number 6, integrate the chaos. There's nothing like chaos in an urban setting. Like the crowds moving, going to the subway, and you want to take a picture of people moving about in the subway station. Some of our best photos are captured in terminals, like Grand Central Terminal or Grand Central Station or Penn Station here in New York City, or the Port Authority, or just the everyday underground train stations. You can find some great movement, or you can go and find great chaos in a place like Times Square, where there's hundreds of people moving at one time. Go to an active place and begin to point out individuals or any of those individual things, and then incorporate them into your photograph. So 1, don't shy away from clutter. Embrace layers, street signs, crowds, trash bins. They're part of the visual story or the visual truth. Just make sure your subject stands out with light, color, or contrast. One of the tricks that photographers use is that they're usually looking for someone with a bright outfit. Like if someone's wearing a bright yellow dress or someone's wearing a beautiful red jacket. Those are colors that pop out from the masses. So people will take a photo, find someone that has bright clothing on, and then focus on that individual while all the rest of the crowd is moving. And you get that great motion in your photos. Okay? So look for someone wearing the bright colors. Just make sure your subject stands out with light, color, or contrast. Same thing can be done with light. If you're taking pictures in the evening and the light is on the visual and there's chaos, like in Times Square, you can get those photos there too. Next, number 7, color and texture as character. Color and texture as characters. Urban environments offer a rich palette: brick reds, neon hues, rusted metal, Use these as emotional cues, right? Look around you. Look around and see the brick buildings, see the steel buildings, see the environment, and then tell your story visually. Tell your story visually. And then you can also include with black and white. Black and white, and also isolate your form and emotion when color distracts. Sometimes you just want to go right in and tell the story and capture the emotion versus the aesthetics. Remember, color is for the aesthetics, black and white is for the soul, for the emotion. Yes. Number 8, tell a story with series. Don't just take one picture. Take multiple pictures. If you take multiple pictures, you will have a story. Take pictures in series. Here we go. Consider a micro narrative. 3 images that track a moment, a person, or a space over time. Captioning can guide the viewer, but let the visuals do most of the storytelling. If you take a picture, 3 pictures, concentrate in 3s. Let me just say, compose in 3, create in 3. It's almost like interior design, right? 3 candles on the fireplace. Put 3 pillows on the sofa. We always decorate as interior designers in 3s. 3 is our common number. 3 is the number that people love. Okay, so think about it. Do 3 photos from different perspectives of the individual or the thing, to create your story. Captions can guide the viewer, but let the visuals do most of the storytelling. Here we go. And listen, last but not least, what kind of photos will you be capturing and sharing from your urban explorations? I'm curious to know. Make sure if you are going to go out and do these tips, get out there. And not only that, hashtag us. Let us know what you're doing. You can always say hashtag Ron Lewis photos out in the streets. Hashtag Ron Lewis photos. I'm photographing Times Square. Right? That's how we do it. That's how we do it. And so there you go. That is our lesson for today. I hope you are going to use that and become a better photographer. Get out into the world, photograph your world, because your world is worth photographing. Okay, guys. Love you all. Hope you're doing well. Have a great day. It's Tip Tuesday. I hope you learned something. And I hope that also, again, our prayers go out to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, family, friends, and all those that knew him. Here we are, guys. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.